and happy Wednesday. I am so excited to see you here today. And for those of you who are here with me live, say hello in the comments so that I can say hi back. Hello, Laura. You're watching me through my YouTube channel today, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. And I can see that Marianne is here and Jennifer is also here. It is great to see you. And hello, Roxanne. I see you here as well. And I know that many of you, Leslie's here and Francine is here. And many of you are also watching from my Anne's Art Club page. And so I can see that Amy Bogan is here and Lisa Schultz is here. Hello, Lisa. I haven't seen you in a while. And Dell is here. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you here with me live today. It's so awesome. And Joanne is here from Saratoga Springs, New York. Love it. Betsy is here from Texas. I love seeing you from all over the world, right? It's just so much fun to be here and see you here from all over the world. And hello, Wanda. It's great to see you too. And Carol. And Maureen is here from Toronto. Amazing. And Lana's here from Camarillo, Texas. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started. Enough hellos, but hello, hello, hello. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you joining me on my weekly Wednesday lives. And if you're new here, I am Anne LaFollette, and I am a service pattern designer and a creative business entrepreneur. And I love to come on live here on my Facebook business page to talk to you about art, creativity, and surface design every week. So if you haven't put this on your calendar, put on your calendar noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. And join me if you can. Of course, the replay is always available as well, but it's a lot more fun for us to actually talk to each other and dive into really important topics that I want to cover that focus on art, creativity, and surface design. So tell me in the comments if you got my email yesterday morning. One of the other things that you will get very familiar with if you're on my email list and if you're an active member of my creative community is that I send out a blog every Tuesday morning. I write a blog every Tuesday morning and I email it to you every Tuesday morning, and then I come on live today on Wednesdays so that we can talk about it. And so I hope you've read it, because you might have some questions for me if you have read it. And don't worry, if you haven't read it yet, check your spam folder in case it's hiding there. And I'm going to do a little bit of an overview. I'm going to cover a little bit of what I talked about in it to bring you all up to speed. But it looks like many of you have already read it, which is totally fabulous. So hello, Patricia. I want to know how Patricia is doing. How are you doing? Please let us know how you are doing. And Pat Beaver is here, and she normally has to watch the replay, but she's here live today, which is fantastic. And Natalie's here from Wisconsin. And so I'm seeing a lot of yeses. I'm seeing a yes from Carol, a yep from Roxanne, and Yvonne said, yep, she got it. So did Wanda. And Laura says yes as well. And Francine also says yes. That's amazing. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad that you both got it and you read it. And for those of you who didn't, the easiest way to find my blog is to go to my email. And so I'm going to share my screen with you and just pop over there really, really quickly because this is a helpful review for everybody. So my website is AnneLaFolletteArt.com. And that is what you see on screen right now. This is me. I'm actually wearing the same sweater today. Look, I'm actually wearing, I didn't realize that, I'm wearing the same sweater today, the same cute pink sweater that's in that picture of me on the cover of my website, which is awesome. And you can always find me at annlefollettart.com. And one of the most important things for me to always say out loud is it can sometimes be confusing because I go live on my Facebook page, which I'm on right now, which is also called Anne LaFollette Art. But a website always has .com at the end of it. And so my website is annlefolletteart.com. You can scroll down and you can read celebration stories of success for students who've come through my Doodles program and my Academy program. You can also get access to my free guides. I have wonderful free guides, and there's additional information down here below that you are welcome to read through. This is also another place where if you forget where I am going to be live, you can go to my website, scroll down, and this will take you to where I am right now. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram. This is a clickable link that will take you to my Instagram profile. And if you're not following me there already, please click the follow button. But I'm going to come back up to the top because the blog is right here. Do you see where I moved my cursor? My cursor, when I'm not hovering over anything, is a black arrow. But when I hover over these words over here, this will take you to the blog. And here we go. This is the blog I sent out today, which is all about securing your spot to my holiday sales prep series, which starts in 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks. So here is the blog that I sent you an email about this yesterday morning. And I wanted to talk about this today because, believe it or not, we need to get ready for holiday selling. So before I cover some of the material that was in the blog, I'm going to come back on screen. And I know that you might be surprised to hear this, but we need to get serious about planning our holiday sales. And I have a 30-year career in retail. So before I got laid off, so those of you who know my origin story is that when I got out of college, I went into the retail field. And I worked at a bunch of global retailers, international retailers. You'd recognize their names. Esprit Decor was one of them. Sears is another. Title IX Sports. The Gap, Old Navy, big names in retail. And I worked in that industry for over 30 years until I suddenly got laid off. My boss called me into his office and said, "We've just eliminated your job. Go down the hall and talk to human resources." So I found myself in my late 50s needing to reinvent myself. My life was not over by any means, but I couldn't get another job in retail for whatever reason. Maybe I was too old, but I'm not too old. And you're not too old either. And so I reinvented myself as a surface designer. I'd always been creative. My husband allowed me to bring up this box of art supplies that were gathering dust in the basement. I did a lot of experimentation because I didn't go to art school, and I discovered this thing called surface design, which is creating beautiful patterns that repeat endlessly. They repeat from top to bottom, and I'm actually not even wearing a pattern today, which is unusual. I'm almost always wearing one of my designs, but today I'm not. I'm wearing this cute pink sweater. In any event, I'm telling you that big long story because one of the things that has helped me be very successful as a surface designer is that I understand retail. And because I understand retail, I know how critical October, November, and December are to anyone's business. October, November, and December are the most important times of the year because that's when almost all of the shopping happens across the year. Most companies, actually, do you know why? So here's a question for you. Pop quiz. Why is Black Friday called Black Friday? And if you don't know what Black Friday is, I'm sure you do. But if you don't, let me know in the comments. So as you're thinking about answering that question, why is it called Black Friday? I'll give you the answer in a minute. Just think about it. We're sitting here in September, right? We just celebrated the Labor Day weekend, which is not a big gift-giving, holiday at all. And we are approaching Halloween. Tons of opportunities to sell designs for Halloween, for people's Halloween parties and Halloween costumes. Then we go into Thanksgiving, and Black Friday is the Friday of the Thanksgiving weekend. Then there's Cyber Monday, which is the biggest sales day online. And then you go into, and that is when you go into Christmas and Hanukkah. And so you guys are great. You guys are totally, totally great. So Joanne says it's the time when retailers go into the black. And what that means is what Yvonne says. It's because that's when companies' financials go from being in the red when they're losing money into the black when they're making money. You are so right. And so retailers frequently don't make any money until Black Friday. Then they start to be profitable. And then they remain profitable through the end of the year because that is when they sell the most. But this is the best explanation. It's when a company's financials go from being in the red, which is they're losing money, to into the black when they're making money. You are absolutely correct, and that's a wonderful way to describe it. And then Small Business Saturday, exactly, Kitty. I don't want to forget Small Business Saturday. So, and then I'm making Halloween ornaments. Perfect. So this is why it's so incredibly important for you to be focused right now on setting your strategy for October, November, and December. And that's what I'm actually offering in this holiday training series, because I want to set you all up for success. I want you to have a strategic plan, and then I want you to know what the tactics are to execute that strategic plan so that you don't miss out on any of those big holidays, right? Because that's when all of the sales happen, and it's when you'll make the most profits in your business. So if I share my screen again and we go to what this training is all about and how you can access it, there are links to the enrollment page right here. These are clickable links where it says Holiday Sales Prep. And here's what we're going to cover. The series is 3 modules. And you get 1 in September, 1 in October, and 1 in November. And they're organized in order for you to get ready for craft and art fairs, which are super important. And now is the time to pick the ones you want to participate in. We're also going to talk about online sales, because Small Business Saturday, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday almost all take place online. That's all about online sales. And then, of course, the last module, which comes out in November, is all about ensuring that you've got all the final prep ready for the biggest sales that happen leading up to Christmas and to Hanukkah. And in the training series, you get extra goodies. You get video trainings, and you also get interaction. You get Q&A sessions. We're going to do some shop and product reviews together so that you're picking the right products to sell. And each month has a very specific focus that builds towards the most important month, which is, in fact, December. And this is great. So you can participate if you're already in. This is going to be offered in my membership, Anne's Atelier. And many of you who are here today are in that membership already. And so you'll get this training already. You get it as part of the training that you get in the membership. But if you're not in the membership, this is your opportunity to actually get the training. And along with the training, you get to be in my membership for the 3 months that the training takes place. So it's a huge win-win. And so it's called the Fall Winter Holiday Sales Prep Series, and it takes place inside my membership. And you don't have to pay for the membership separately. You can purchase the Holiday Sales Prep Series by clicking one of these links in here, and then that will put you into the membership for 3 months so that you can take advantage of the membership at the same time. So let me see what questions you guys have. And Marianne Walker-LeClaire's question, thank you so much. Have things changed since COVID? So the biggest thing that has changed since COVID, actually there are lots of wonderful things that are now happening since we're sort of past COVID. We're not really past COVID, because I know COVID is always going to be out there. It's just going to be called COVID. They're just going to give it a new name or whatever. But so please, everybody, take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Get your flu shot. But one of the things that has happened now that we're sort of past COVID, and Marianne Walker-LeClaire, you can tell me this in the comments. You, I believe, have gone back to in-person paint parties, right? Because you can do in-person events again. So the good news is that things that we couldn't do in person, couldn't do craft fairs either during COVID because nobody could be together in close proximity. So now that we're kind of past that and people are protecting themselves and they're taking care of themselves and making sure that they're actually not getting COVID, you can participate in craft and art fairs again, because a lot of them are outdoors. In the winter, most of them are indoors, but that's okay because we all wear a mask if you have a cold, but you can do that again. So that's actually a whole area that you couldn't really take advantage of during COVID. So that's really, really good news. But the other main headline that's super important to understand is everyone shops online. Everyone shops online. Everyone's become comfortable with shopping online. All retailers have given a huge focus to their online stores. They've tried to make it so much easier for you to purchase online. They also now have purchase it online, but pick it up in the store, so that they're trying to make it as convenient for the customer as possible. But Marianne, since you're here live, tell me what's going on in your business now that you can. So I see you said, yes, you can, right? So the advantage for you is that you absolutely can have displays in where you offer your paint parties. And this is great for anyone who loves to do paint parties, or if you have a sewing. I know Jane Foster always watches the replay. So Jane Foster, this is for you. And I'm sure you do this already. Depending on your customer base and depending on who comes to your sewing classes or who comes to your paint parties, you can make sure that you have a little area in your space where you're also offering your products, right? Products that have your designs on them. You can have a permanent retail store inside your sewing shop, right? Your sewing facility, or what's the word I'm looking for? Your sewing studio. Or for you, Marianne, you can also have, and I think you already do, you have a counter and you have an entire retail display. So think about how you're going to be planning out switching out what's some of those offerings from year-long products to very holiday theme oriented products, things people are going to want to pick up for Thanksgiving, or things that people are going to want to pick up for Halloween, since Halloween's the first holiday that's coming up, the first big holiday that's coming up. So great question. But what I would say is that it's super important to be organized, and I always like to start with strategy first. Whenever I'm doing any type of training, whether it's my Doodles training or my Pattern Design Academy training, or when I'm planning out my own sales for the year, I always start with strategy first. And so in the holiday training series, we also will make sure we start with strategy first, so that you're planning out all the key dates, and then you're working back from those key dates to know, well, when do I need to place my orders? When do I need to make sure I understand my pricing? When do I need to make my final decisions around what my products are that I'm going to offer? And in each one of those trainings, we're going to cover what are the best products to offer, what's my recommendation around pricing, and I'm going to give you all kinds of advice from a retail perspective about how to maximize your sales and your margin. And another word for margin means profit, right? The bottom line profit of how much you should be planning to take away from each, to be able to put in your bank account at the end of each one of these sales events, so that they're very, very profitable. And terrific. So I don't see, who is this? I am making holiday junk journal photo books. Fantastic. So there's so many opportunities for products, right? There are tons and tons of opportunities for products. But the key thing is to make sure that you're thinking from a consumer perspective. What is the consumer going to want? What are consumers going to want at these different times of the year, so that you're very focused on the right trends and you're very focused on the right products that they're going to be most likely to buy. Hello, Stacey Harris. It's great to see you. And thank you for letting me know. And so handmade items are great, Jean. So this is Jean, who is watching, I think, inside Anne's Art Club, which is why it says Facebook user instead of showing me your beautiful name. Handmade items are fantastic. Both are great. Both are absolutely great. And the key thing is to understand your audience. So Jean, you have an incredible passion for Christian items, right? The Bible. You and I have talked about coloring books that you might be creating that are about Bible stories. And so handmade items that are the reason I want all of you to think about who is your natural customer, who already knows about you, and what do they like about what you offer. You always need to make sure you're putting yourself in the shoes of the people that you know, the community you already have, and the community that you want to grow, so that you are providing them with what they expect to get from you and what they want to get from you, and that you keep asking them, right? You keep asking them. There's no reason not to just ask. And send an email to your email list. Or if you have a Facebook group, ask in your Facebook group, what are you looking for this holiday season? And what do you need for and then be more specific. Ask them, Halloween is coming up. Do you have a party planned? If you have a party planned, can I offer you some plates and dishes, or some plates and a tablecloth and napkins? And then showcase a variety of designs that you've created that have a Halloween theme to them, right? So that's what I mean by being super intentional. You want to be super intentional, you want to ask, and then you want to ensure that you're offering something that you actually enjoy making. That's the other key thing, is make sure that if this is a passion of yours, that you lean into that passion, because you'll find the people who have that passion as well, who will want to purchase from you. And that's kind of the magic sauce as you think strategically about how to set yourself up for success this holiday season. All right, so Carol says, okay, so then Susan Palmer, hello Susan Palmer, she says, that is why having a booth at a quilt show with quilt fabric was a perfect fit. Exactly, because if you are showcasing, if you love to quilt, so I know that Susan Palmer loves to quilt, and she made me an absolutely gorgeous quilt with one of my pattern collections. Your quilt is gorgeous. It's on my bed. We use it every day. So thank you, Susan. And I would show it to all of you guys, but it's upstairs. And so if you love to quilt and you're making repeating patterns and surface design patterns to put on fabric that you're going to put into quilts, then you should be at quilt shows. You should be showing them at quilt shows. That's what people are looking for at a quilt show. That's why you would want to have a quilt booth, so that you can showcase your gorgeous designs and your quilt patterns. And so that is totally following the customer's journey, right? The customers who come to a quilt show, that's what they're looking for, and that's what you're offering. So you're meeting them exactly where they have a need. And Carol says, I'm a professional Mrs. Claus. I want to put out fabric designs that can be used for quilt panels and home decor. That's perfect. So if you are a professional Mrs. Claus, the only other thing I would offer to you, Carol, as a suggestion, just a thought, is could you also offer something for Halloween and for Thanksgiving? People probably also want quilt patterns for those occasions and some cute home decor for those occasions. So if you think strategically now and start to plan for it, you could add on some additional sales for those holidays, of course, in addition to continuing to be a professional Mrs. Claus. I love that, right? I love that. And thank you for sharing it with us. So that, my friends, was today's live, right? I always like to talk for just about a half an hour so that you can ask me questions while I'm still here, and then I'll let you go. But I would love to have you in the holiday prep series. It's the perfect time for you to get both strategic and then tactical, so that you can implement a flawless strategy to get your designs out into the world and sell them profitably, so that you are also in the black as we go through this most important time of the year. And now is the time to get ready. right? Now is the time to get ready. And I'm so glad, Jane, that you are feeling inspired. So with that, I will let you go. Make sure you go read the blog. That's where you can see that clickable link to go explore all of the details about the holiday prep series, holiday sales prep. And I will see you next week. I always like to say in closing that I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. And I am Anne Follett. And remember, it's never too late to create. Bye for now.